नमस्कारम। 2022 अक्टूबर 24 में पहली बार आश्रम आया था और तब मैं लिंगा सेवा के लिए आया था एंड आई गोट टू अटेंड वन सेशन विद स्वामी बी ही वाज द पर्सन वाज अबाउट टू एड्रेस अस फॉर द लिंगा सेवा दैट हाउ इट्स सपोज टू गो। तो मैंने उनका वो सेशन अटेंड किया एंड पहली बार के लिए मुझे ना एक झलक मिली कि हाउ वन ईशा ब्रह्मचरी इज़ लाइक। तो उनकी जो इनोसेंस थी, उनकी जो हम्बलनेस था एंड द वे ही यूज्ड टू क्रैक जोक्स, I would not say there was no difference between Sadhguru and him. Definitely there was, but there was not much difference when it comes to creating an ambience. तो मुझे उतना खास कुछ weird लगा नहीं when I got to meet him for very first time and when I got to attend any session where Sadhguru was not addressing and somebody else was addressing it. I in fact asked him one very naive question, I would say, कि तब मेरे दिमाग में वो मैंने एक बुक पढ़ी हुई थी डेथ करके, और डेथ बुक में सदगुरु ने कह रखा है कि उन्होंने प्लान किया हुआ था कुछ लोगों के साथ पास्ट लाइफ में टू कम ऑन दिस लाइफ एंड चीज़ों को, ताकि वो चीज़ें बहुत आसान हो पाए। तो मैंने उनको ये सवाल पूछा भी कि क्या स्वामी आप भी उनमें से थे जो पिछले लाइफ से यहाँ तक आए सदगुरु के साथ टू मेक ध्यानलिंगा हैपन। तो उन्होंने क्लियरली कहा कि नहीं, ऐसा मुझे पता नहीं है, अगर हुआ भी होगा तो मुझे उसके बारे में आइडिया नहीं है। तो ही वॉज़ वेरी जेन्युइन अबाउट इट। And during our time somebody talked about very high energy in Dhyanalinga. So some Swami asked like, what is this high energy thing? I do not know. So please let me know also what is this high energy thing. Swami also accepted the fact that I do not even know the aim of meditation. If you ever got to know about meditation, please let me know as well. So one thing I realized that these people are definitely brahmacharis and we look up to them, but within themselves they are never very arrogant about it that I am the brahmachari of Isha and I am the person who is managing the entire ashram. This kinds of feeling I never see within any kind of brahmachari. I feel more humble, only the humbleness within themselves. This is what something inspired me about Isha Brahmacharis, and I had an opportunity to meet with him in Bangalore ashram as well during this Mahasivaratri 23. And during that time also he was the very similar calm content person जब वो चलते भी हैं. It was very beautiful to just see him very stable and balanced. Unfortunately 24th of October this year 2024 he left. It was exact same date when I got to meet him for very first time. Just 2 years later he passed away because of an illness. So a few things that he shared as a story of Isha that comes up within mind that I feel like I would share, because since the person is not there, these stories are not going to live anymore. And when it comes to Isha stories, apart from Sadhguru and somebody else talks about them, it is very exciting for us because there were other people as well who were building up this ashram in the initial days and they had different perspective than Sadhguru, and when they shared their experiences वो हमें बहुत exciting लगता है. So that's why I feel like I would share a few things in this particular video. First thing would be there was a time when Sadhguru built this Dhyanalinga and Dhyanalinga was completed, and they put one Nandi in front of the parikrama area. If you do not know what is parikrama area, when you come to the ashram you will be able to see it. So there was a small Nandi, it was placed in the parikrama area, and one day Sadhguru was in any kind of interview and then somebody asked him, you said Dhyanalinga is not a place, Dhyanalinga is not a temple, then why the Nandi is there? So initially Sadhguru has cleared it in his own mind and to everybody that Dhyanalinga is not a temple for any particular religion or race. It is going to be for everybody. Everybody who wants to take benefit of Dhyanalinga, they must take the benefit of Dhyanalinga. That's why we call it a consecrated space. And there is a pole in front of Dhyanalinga which we call Sarva Dhamma Stambha, which depicts that every dharma, every religion, every caste, every race, any kind of people who wants to take benefit of Dhyanalinga can come and they can take or make use of Dhyanalinga. So there is no barrier to any kind of race or religion to it. But somebody raised this question that why there is Nandi inside the temple? Because if Nandi is inside the temple, then that's like any other Shiva temple. So that is why Sadhguru called Swami from that interview and asked him, remove it as soon as possible. So then they removed the Nandi from inside the parikrama area, and then later they built a different Nandi outside of the temple, just to depict the fact or qualities of Nandi, like eternal waiting or being patient or still, irrespective of the fact that the being is waiting for somebody but still within himself. and still alert. So these are the few qualities that Nandi depicts, and it was in Sadhguru's perspective important for everybody to know about all these things. That's why he built Nandi outside of this Dhyanalinga Parikrama area, and this was the interesting thing. This is another aspect to it, is that whenever we call anything as temple, so mostly temples comes under Tamil Nadu government over here, and they would take charge of that temple. They will claim that this temple belongs to us if it is called as temple, if it is portrayed as temple itself. So this will be very, again, difficult for other devotees, because then government will do their own things and they will not maintain it properly the way it's supposed to be maintained. So that was the reason because of which Sadhguru called and instantly asked everybody, asked Swami to keep that Nandi out. So right now, if you see, I think that Nandi is kept in Isha Samskriti, where there is a small Nandi. If you peep from outside, definitely you will not get to go inside, but if you peep from outside, nearly from around from Surya Kund, you will be able to see it. It happened that some high authorities person came to the ashram, and I think it was happened that some guest care issue happened, and he did not like about something, so he shouted about some aspect of the ashram, or maybe the way he was treated, he did not like it. He wanted to be treated like some authority person, not like a regular human being regular person who are coming here to the ashram every single day. So in that context, he kept on shouting or did something, and he got angry. And Swami Vipada happened to come there, and Swami Vipada tried to make that person calm. He did namaskaram and did everything. That person was not ready to calm. So whenever we try to make any person calm, we definitely put our hands together, do namaskaram. But beyond that, we just try to touch their feet or कुछ भी करो, बस चुप हो जा, मैं आपको जो भी आपको चाहिए मैं करता हूँ, पर अभी के लिए आप गुस्सा शांत करो. दिस इज हाउ वी सपोज टू वी जनरली बी टुवर्ड्स पीपल. तो that is exactly happened to Swami Vipada as well. So when that person was shouting, he just went and touched his feet. और जब उन्होंने उनका feet touch किया, that person suddenly stopped being angry about everything. And then Swami did this guest care thing, and whatever the thing that was supposed to be done with that person, he giving complete orientation about this ashram and did everything that was necessary for that day to do, or for that situation to be done. So after all these things happening, that person went back home, and 3 days later that person came back to the ashram, and he asked Swami that why did you touch my feet, because I am not being able to sleep for last 3 days. I do not know whether Swami possessed some power or something, but the kind of soul he was is something that is very inspiring to me, and I will not have any second thought about it if he says that when he touches somebody's feet, definitely or nothing would change in anybody's life. Something might have changed within the person whom he touched his feet, but I really felt sorry during that day when I was standing just outside of not outside of, towards the corridor side of Adiyogyalem, and I saw far from me there was a body lying down, and everybody were doing their last Shraddhanjali to this person. I always felt like he was a divine being, and the kind of life that he lived, it is very inspiring. Still there are stories around him. He has shared himself in the Path of Divine, what we call articles or series. You can go ahead and read those stories from him directly, and these are the stories already posted in Sadhguru website, so you can read all these stories about him. And one thing that I feel really fortunate about, that in this short span of time, I really got to meet him, I really got to know him and be with him, talk to him for some time. That is all I wanted to share with you in this particular video.